And here are all my new friends, guys. Hey! As of this latest advisory here, it has weakened. It was expected to head to the coast as a major Category 4 storm, and now it's downgraded to a 2. Doesn't mean that it's not going to be a big storm for the coast and not going to cause a lot of issues when it comes to storm surge, but you put maximum sustained winds of 140 plus miles per hour versus 105 miles per hour, and that's definitely a better situation. So that's the good news with this storm, but definitely going to still be a pretty big rainmaker for the coast.
Right. So that's why people like myself, that's why I'm down here. Other people from our stations are covering the storm as well. So if you are anywhere near the storm watching this, please, please, please stay safe. We're definitely gonna have updates for you 24/7 as this thing makes its way in here. And again, I am in Macon, Georgia. Macon, Georgia. And I'm gonna be doing a story tonight on generator safety. So feel free to follow me, Twitter, Facebook, all those places. And I'll see you guys soon.
All right, Sam, stay safe. We also have Clay Gordon, Zach Blanchard in North Carolina, helping out our sister station there, WCNC in Charlotte.
And speaking of North Carolina, check out this powerful video from explore.org. According to the site, this live ocean cam is situated on a former Coast Guard observation tower on the Outer Banks off the coast of North Carolina.
The wind is unbelievable. You can see the flag was ripped at the bottom and the pole is shaking back and forth. You can watch more in the breaking video section of our website and our mobile app. People are just fascinated with this video. We've had it up for a long time, and so many people have checked in, including us in the newsroom. You can just see people staring, aimlessly into space.
Some powerful images already, and the storm hasn't even made landfall, Keith.
Yeah, it's a good-looking storm, unfortunately, still. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a few minutes. We'll start, though, with where we are today, which is nice, not dealing with the storm. You know, the only thing we're dealing with is the swells, some big swells still out over the ocean and into Maine. But look at the last of the clouds evaporating, by the way, with the winds that are generally all pointed towards Florence, even as far north as Maine. So the kind of inflow to this hurricane extends all the way into the eastern seaboard and into the northeast as well. Where we saw sunshine today almost all day, it got into the 80s. Look at Caribou, 82. Meanwhile, we struggled in Portland at 75, 74 in Sanford, and 72 in Portsmouth. That's because it took until, what, 1 o'clock, 1:30 to see the sunshine peak out, and that's when temperatures started to respond. Hour-by-hour forecast showing you mainly clear skies overnight tonight. Relatively comfortable night, dropping to the 60s and 50s. By tomorrow morning, we've got a little bit of fog to start, but we burn it off by mid-morning at the latest. After that, we're sunny through the afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. And then we roll into the weekend looking good. Partly cloudy both days. Temperatures on either side of 80. Guys, we are going to talk a lot about Florence in a minute, and more specifically, the idea that it weakening is going to help the Carolinas very much, I think, is untrue, and I'll explain why that's the case in a few minutes.
All right, Keith, thanks. There are two new developments in the case accusing two York County Sheriff's deputies of shaking a man down for money on behalf of a former Portland police officer.
Yeah, we're hearing for the first time now the other side of the story. The lawyer for Deputy Michael Hayes responded to our request for comment, and a former police officer involved in the early stages of the incident believes that the proper process might not have been followed. We told you yesterday we would keep digging. Chris Costa has our shovel. What do you got for us?
Well, Lee and Lindsay, this police report shows that a former Buxton police officer, Jason Dennison, took the call from the man's brother accusing two York County Sheriff's deputies of assaulting his brother. Dennison says he took those complaints to his boss, but what happened next did not sit right with him.
Due to the nature of the complaint, I decided it's best to notify my police chief.
Former Buxton police officer Jason Dennison remembers taking the call from the victim's brother and the accusations he made. Two York County Sheriff's deputies assaulted his brother and his brother's girlfriend. In the police report about this call, Dennison writes that his former chief, Michael Grovo, told him they would not be taking any complaints about an outside agency.
He told me to refer the caller to the York County Sheriff's Office.
Dennison says that answer did not feel right.
I was not expecting that, because normally if there's a complaint made against anybody in my or our jurisdiction, then usually we would handle the complaint. So I didn't quite understand, but I was following orders from my police chief.
He says the normal course of action when police get a call for an assault is to arrive on scene, take witness statements, interview all parties involved, and determine how to proceed. He says that never happened.
Who would have been the officer to go out to that address at that time? Would it have been you because you were on patrol?
Yes, that would have been me.
Dennison said he was never sent out to that address. We reached out to Dennison's former chief, Michael Grovo, who's now a civil process deputy for the York County Sheriff's Department. He did not return our requests for comment. We also reached out to the Attorney General's office. A spokesperson says there's no law that mandates that a law enforcement agency report any such complaints against another agency to the AG's office. And we're now hearing the other side of the story for the first time from the lawyer of York County Sheriff's Deputy Michael Hayes. Hayes attorney Amy Fairfield sent us a statement saying both Sergeant Hayes and Detective Will Vachon offered the district attorney their full cooperation. She says Hayes and Vachon regret the language they used during their investigation, but she says they were completely transparent in their police work. She also says neither Hayes nor Vachon were asked to discuss what happened that day. She says they will fully cooperate in any further review of the case. She called the case a huge distraction and a political ploy by people with vested interest in the upcoming sheriff's election. Lee and Lindsay.
All right, Chris, thank you. We'll continue to look out for updates on that. So it's about this time of year every year that homeowners start to think about the same thing: heating their homes and how much that's going to cost this winter.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. So a couple things that you need to worry about or think about when it comes to this topic. First and foremost, as of July, Maine is now required to deliver a new, cleaner home heating oil. Jamie Pye, the CEO of Maine Energy Marketers Association, says ultra-low sulfur heating oil is the cleanest heating oil in the world, with emissions similar to natural gas.
And also just this week, Governor LePage's Energy Office released its findings of its latest survey showing the average price statewide of heating oil is up 24% from this same time last year. So we heard from one viewer wanting to know more about the rise in costs.
The question what is this new fuel all about? How is it supposed to save us money, and what can Mainers expect for the winter ahead?
All right, you ask and we have the answers.
What is low sulfur heating oil?
The same product that we put in our cars and run our cars, we're now using in our homes to heat our home.
Alan Dorr at Dead River Company says it's similar to diesel fuel. In July, Maine joined the rest of the New England states, along with New York and New Jersey, in doing away with delivering high sulfur heating oil. The move said to be better for the environment and your wallet.
In the older heating oil, we had 3,000 parts per million sulfur. And the new heating oil is 15 parts per million sulfur.
But how is it supposed to save money, especially with prices up 7 cents in the last month? According to the Maine Energy Marketers Association, the cleaner burning fuel will prolong the life of your heating equipment, so you could be paying less often to fix that boiler or furnace. The increase in the price of heating oil is not from the new cleaner heating oil. It's due to the rise of crude oil barrel prices.
What the marketplace is seeing is a pretty robust increase in the cost of heating oil and diesel and gasoline and crude. Basically, the whole petroleum complex has gone up over the last year. Very little of that can be attributed to the cost of ultra-low sulfur heating oil versus the old high sulfur heating oil.
So what can Mainers expect in the winter ahead?
There are so many factors that impact the price of oil that it's very difficult to predict what is going to happen in the future, even the near future.
There are ways to reduce your energy use and save money from MaineEnergyFacts.com. Vacuum baseboard heating units so dust doesn't block the heat. Keep closet doors closed and set ceiling fans to rotate clockwise to push heat down.
And if you have a question you'd like us to look into, just use the hashtag AskNow on social media or reach out to us at asknow@newcentermaine.com. All right, coming up next, we'll see why New Balance is going against the trends.
And a bond between a mother and a son, and not for a reason that they would have chosen. What's up, Facebook?
How's everybody doing?
Rebecca, can you hear us now? I see where you said you have no sound, but I'm assuming you can hear us now because no one else is complaining about that. What's up, Lee? Great first name. And Paul, and is that Loey or Loy? I don't know.
Louie? I don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know.
So Sam made it to Macon, okay.
Yep.
Eventually.
Eventually.
We got her there.
Oh, thanks, Jesse.
I always wonder, hey, what's up, Big John McCarthy?
Hey, Karen.
How are things in Wyoming? I always wonder about people in other states, although I feel like if you're on the coast, North Carolina, Georgia, like you probably have dealt with generators, and Sam was saying her generator story tonight. Like in Maine, it's like power goes out. Like, okay, so we flip on the generator, or if you have one, or whatever. So,
Right.
And those coastal states, this isn't new for them either. So, like the landlocked states, or like where they don't get hurricanes and storms, like, you know, obviously, or snow, like that stuff, like for us, is just like whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just keep looking at this storm on the radar, and like I can't look away. It's part mesmerizing, and it's part, what's the other word I'm looking for? It's mesmerizing. It's intense. I don't know. It's just, I can't look away.
Jesse, thank you very much. That was all Lindsay. She killed that story.
I know, isn't that sweet? I thanked her a little while ago.
Killed it.
And Karen's watching.
Yeah, she liked your cell phone story yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah, about how she should get a new iPhone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great story. Great idea.
It's funny because I got an email today about phone cases that are now available for that type of phone.
Yeah, that's awesome. Too bad we won't have to worry about it.
Oh, she says low E.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay. Judy says good luck. Prayers to all who are in the path of the hurricane. Emily says, generally, if you can't look away, it's like a train wreck. I know, that's like, I'm trying to find the word that summarizes that, and I can't, it's escaping me. It's escaping me.
All right, guys, this is unbelievable. It's a video that's been now viewed over 1 million times. A gate attendant at a park in Texas can be seen standing right in front of the hood of a car yelling that the driver is running her over. It's the latest example of a heated public incident that was recorded and then posted on social media, and then obviously went viral after that.
After that incident, authorities said happened on August 25th. The driver uploaded the video to Facebook this past Tuesday night. It was shared more than 7,000 times. A representative with the park confirmed to our sister station, KVUE, that the gate attendant no longer works at the park. A follow-up now to a story we told you about at the beginning of the month. A Maine family impacted by suicide is trying to bring a documentary to Portland's Nickelodeon to help others during Suicide Awareness Month.
It'll only work if the ripple effect gets enough online support. If it does come to Maine, a portion of the money will be donated to the JD Foundation. It's an effort by the family of Lindsay Winslow.
And we have more information at the Now section of our website and mobile app.
New Balance has cameras around a booth in New York City to scan the streets in order to find people who look unique or different to the norm during New York Fashion Week.
According to a report on Fast Company, it's part of a marketing campaign called Be the Exception, and people it identifies as looking different will be offered a free pair of its new type of sneakers.
Trendsetters wear their best outfits during Fashion Week in the hopes of appearing in magazines and, of course, Instagram. It's where all the people are now, but New Balance wants to find people that are going against those trends.
Interesting.
I don't think I have a shot at that one.
I think if you made like one of those duct tape sport coats, maybe you could score yourself a pair of free
Keith
kicks.
Carson not involved in Fashion Week? Who knows more about fashion than him?
I know, right?
Just ask the viewers. What? How did you know we were talking about you? Oh yeah, and Keith's forecast is coming up. And the shades. Come on, man. Got it going on.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
So just, can you read what I wrote?
Yeah.
Because it's a little nuancy.
Okay. Yeah.
What's up, Emily? Lindsay's your
Karen.
face. Yeah.
Karen, you are my favorite too of the Goldberg clan.
Stop.
But
Stop.
we all know who my favorite Goldberg is.
Maddox.
Yes, that's what I was gonna
It's Maddox.
Maddox. The scruffiest of the
I love that
crew.
Coco yelled Gannon from the back.
Did you yell Gannon?
Gmo is so
I do love Gannon.
cute.
I love all your kids. Yeah. They're so cute. I love that Maya, what'd you say? I can't hear him. I can't hear Coco. I do love that Maya is like into a lipstick thing. Like she's into a lipstick phase where like she gets lipstick, the teddy bears get lipstick.
Yes. I don't enjoy that.
Yeah. We gotta work on her application of the lipstick because it's like a little smudgy.
Well,
but
I have an idea.
What?
We just don't do it. Less is definitely more when it comes to
she
that.
was very scared that one time that you were very mad at her.
What did she do?
She didn't come out of her room because she had lipstick on because she didn't want you to be mad.
She's 5. Like, I feel like that's a little early for makeup. Oh, okay. Nicole, be safe out there. We're in the newsroom there.
Are we going?
Yeah.
All right, we're taking a walk, friends. We're taking a walk. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Thank you, Emily. Are you good with this read?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not trying to blind you guys.
Oh, you're good.
Blinded by the light.
Figure out what looks best.
What's up? Oh my God. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wish I could just be tall.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
I
That's
should
a
just
song.
get, I know I love that song. Should I just get like walking stilts? I should. Oh my God, you guys are on the same page because Ron just said the same thing.
Stand by.
Oh.
Sorry. Aggressive elbows. Watching someone you love battle cancer is one of the most difficult things, if not the most difficult things to go through.
Yeah, one family from Wyndham has had to live that reality, and not just once. When Josh Perry Hall was just 15 years old, he went to a quick care to be seen for some swollen glands. After multiple treatments for a bacterial infection didn't make things better, Josh was given a new diagnosis.
I had Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 2.
Josh and his family were in for a fight.
It's completely different when you're told your child has cancer. It's completely different when you're sitting at Maine Children's Cancer Center and you're watching little kids and your own child get poison. They're getting treatment.
Josh was lucky. Within 6 months, he was cancer-free and has now been that way for 6 years. But 2 months after he graduated from Wyndham High School,
I was diagnosed with stage 2 HER2 positive breast cancer.
the family was shaken yet again.
It was very emotional. He pretty much during that part, my treatment stayed away. There was too much PTSD of the sound, the smell of the treatment rooms, like anything. He couldn't be around it. You could see the pain of it.
Diane will celebrate 3 years being cancer-free next month, but mom and son are still active in the cancer community, taking part in fundraisers and offering support whenever and wherever they can.
I can relate to what the children are going through, so it's almost like it's a good feeling knowing that like people can rely on me to understand where they're coming from.
Josh and his mom Diane will be taking part in a fundraiser on Sunday as part of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. It's going to be at Ree-Raw Irish Pub and Restaurant in Portland in conjunction with the St. Baldrick's Foundation.
It's a head shaving event put on by the Maine firefighters combating childhood cancer.
So I feel like I got a head start on that.
Yeah, you can still shave it though. You do have hair.
There's enough to be taken off, I'm told.
Remember
So-
when Ethan, Mayor Ethan, shaved his head and then 4 days later had a full head of hair?
It was like
again?
a chia pet, dude. It
was
came back like that.
I
They
actually
were amazed.
was like, did he fake the whole? Was that CGI, like the shaving of it?
Right.
But they threw it back. All right, we're gonna talk about Florence in detail. Luckily, our weather a lot quieter than that. And, you know, it's been a southern Maine, central and northern Maine divide for the past couple of days. And today was a really stark one this morning where it was cloudy over just basically Portland southward and sunny for the rest of the state. Now everybody's in on the action and it's sunny statewide. Still have that high surf advisory until midnight tonight. Those are from the swells from Florence, 5 to 6 foot swells and waves out there all up and down the coastline. But as the storm gets closer to the coast of North Carolina, it's going to be kind of tucked under Massachusetts, so we won't deal with the swells once it gets down that far to the coastline. All right, hour by hour forecast tonight. It is clear, it is pleasant. Tomorrow we start with fog along the coast, and I think we'll kind of battle that for a few hours, and then we'll clear out Friday afternoon. Looks good. Upper 70s to right around 80 through Friday later in the day. And then Saturday is a partly cloudy day, similar temperatures, upper 70s to around 80 degrees. And we do it again on Sunday. You know, the weekend is quiet, but it's not totally sunny from start to finish. There will be some clouds, especially along the coastline, so just keep that in mind. But it's going to be a pleasant weekend, and it's actually a little bit warmer on Sunday with temperatures getting at times close to the mid-80s on Sunday afternoon and a couple of showers in the mountains later in the day. So our forecast is very straightforward. Not the case for Florence. Here it is. This is the radar loop now, so no longer satellite. It's close enough that you can see radar. Good structure to this storm still. Here's the problem. It's going to take a really long time to actually get on shore. So while they're getting the outer bands of this system, what's happening here with the storm is it's piling up water, storm surge. And so I mentioned before that it weakening to a Category 2 doesn't help you. So what happens is you have this wind field, and when it's a Cat 4, it can be a condensed wind field. Say it's going 150 mile per hour wind gusts. When you weaken the storm, you spread it out. So your wind field now is larger with lesser winds, the same energy. The problem with that is it can push more water on shore than a more compact, powerful storm. So when you talk about storm surge, these big wind fields are actually a bigger problem than a technically stronger storm. So I just think that narrative is incorrect, and I've heard it a lot today that the storm is weakened only in one measure, but not in the measure that I think will matter for this system. So the wind speeds here in the 60 to 65 mile per hour range, gusts 75 miles an hour offshore. Those again are moving onshore. Now this storm lingers for a couple of days. That's part of the problem, that it gets hooked up. It actually will connect with the jet stream, guys, and it may affect us in some way mid-next week. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to affect us. It could just be some rain. It could be pretty windy, not like 70 mile per hour windy, but the European model, for example, does redevelop it as a bit of a rainy nor'easter. So if that happens, we could have some decent winds of our own. But until then, we're in good shape. That doesn't happen until about Tuesday into Wednesday, and we could be in the mid-80s on Monday before all of that arrives. In a little context, we talked about, I think yesterday, that it took just 2 wind gusts of 70 miles an hour to knock out Maine's power in the fall of last year, if you recall that. So that puts it in context to what goes on down there right now.
I mean, when you're over 100 miles an hour, I mean, between 102 and 120, 125, right. I mean,
it doesn't matter, because the wind is usually not the thing, right? You think about Katrina. It's almost more than half of fatalities from hurricanes are flooding. And so that's what it's about. Yep.
Do you think landfall will time up with high tide there?
For more than one cycle. That's the other thing. So they've got several cycles that they're going to go through here. And I think the fact that it's Cat 2 is not going to matter at the end of the day. So.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on it, obviously. Thank you. All right, so you know our favorite thing around these pots is snap maps.
Look at these chickies.
This is what's happening in Maine today. People love to put up vids of their pets. There's some cute little
And we
chicks.
love watching the vids you post. Oh
boy.
0 miles per hour, slow to go.
Is that a Siamese?
That's my miles per hour on Monday morning.
Oh, listen to the kitty too. That's awesome.
Oh, so sweet. Oh, and this little dog too.
And a quick shot of the puppy.
I know,
there you
I
go.
love it.
Puppies are always good.
All right, a lot more coming up on News Center Maine tonight at 5:30. The Maine legislature spent the day trying to finish all its business and an extra long session and go home, but it hasn't been easy, and we're going to tell you why.
And some families of homicide victims and missing persons who lobbied for the creation of a cold case unit a few years ago now say that not enough is being done to get their cases solved. We will see what they are trying to do to get that change coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30.
Brain drops when we come back. I think we're at the point where you just know when I'm done speaking. I'm done. Popcorn, Lee. Did you ever play popcorn as a kid in school?
No.
So popcorn was like a reading game we would play in my elementary school where like the teacher would say, like you're all reading the same chapter book and you sit in the circle and one kid reads and then when they're done reading they say popcorn and then you call it a name and then they have to read it. So if you're not reading along and if you're not following along,
you don't want to get
it's
caught.
embarrassing
Right.
if someone says popcorn Lindsay. And like that's what happens when I read, like I look and then I start thinking about other things and then I stop paying attention to the words. Kind of like what happens here.
Hey John, thank you very much for that. We'll bring in Liam on this one. Liam's our expert. Liam, John on YouTube is saying the volume on YouTube seems to be a little bit lower than normal, not inaudible, but just a little bit low. Okay.
Oh, Nicole's watching from Raleigh, North Carolina,
John.
waiting for the storm to hit.
Hey,
Nicole, stay safe down there.
So
Jesse said Higgins Beach had amazing waves. Scary riptides. Be
I
careful
heard there
out
are
there.
a lot of people out there today.
Oh yeah. Shannon
Today was
Moss is
like
going
the
to be
day
out
for
there
that.
later.
Yeah.
She's going live from the beach.
I saw her with her surf gear on.
Yeah.
She's ready to go.
She's ready to hang 10. Wait, Maddox is watching?
Oh gosh, don't.
Karen.
You like the little puppies.
I do.
You like the small dogs.
We're actually going to. I have to take Tito to the vet this weekend because we got to talk about his aggression. Yeah, yeah. He look at this. He bit me. It doesn't look bad, but it hurts when you touch it. He bit me like pretty bad yesterday. I don't know if it's because like those 4 months unaccounted for.
Okay, yeah, let's do that after. Yeah.
What did you do to Tito?
I don't know. So like obviously he is missing a limb. We don't know how that happened, and we don't know what happened to him for 4 months. So like, was he abused? Like we don't know. And
Poor
so he's
little
very
guy.
territorial.
How is he with the other puppy?
Oh, loves her, and she loves him, and like.
So
and they
don't
both
fight
love
over
babies.
stuff.
Yeah, Tito's obsessed with Luca.
Yeah.
Like he crawled on top of Luca and was like sniffing
He's
Luca's
like,
little
"Hello."
hands.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very gentle, but with humans he gets so angry. So we're gonna go talk
Okay,
about
flag first.
some stuff. If you guys have tips for dealing with doggy aggression, love to hear it.
Another look at this amazing video of that flag in North Carolina as Hurricane Florence makes her way towards the eastern coast.
That was an entire flag
right?
earlier today.
It's Frying Pan Shoals is the name of there's a buoy out there, and it had 65 mile per hour wind gusts an hour and a half ago. Just eyeballing it looks over 70
Something
now.
as simple as that, though, gives you such great perspective of what's really going on. They're just seeing a flag, because that's something we can all relate to.
People underestimate wind all the time. I always say that. Go stand in 35 mile per hour winds sustained, and you'll guess it's 55. Like, it's a lot stronger than you think. All right, today's Brain Drops is timely in a way, right? There's been a lot of controversy about Maria and the response, and regardless, this is interesting because Puerto Rico has an opportunity in a weird way to rebuild its entire power grid. And so it's some groups are trying to say, hey, why don't we do solar and all these clean energy solutions, and they're fighting lobbies that are saying, why don't you just do oil, just do natural gas. And so it's an interesting, I'll be following how this turns out, because usually it's cost prohibitive to rebuild your whole grid in a renewable energy format. But unfortunately, because of Maria, they started from scratch.
You're starting at zero.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see kind of what lobby wins out here, and if they're able to go with a green plan, and obviously something that's resilient to the weather in the future would be helpful. So we'll see.
Yeah, boy, they've been through a ton there, haven't they?
Yeah.
All right. News Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now.
Coming up on News Center Maine.
Bye, guys.
The waves are big.
See you, Facebooks.